Wait for the light to turn on. There it is. Call this meeting to order. Determine there is a quorum. We have Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Garcia, Commissioner Flores, and myself. We do have a quorum. If y'all will please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Commissioner Wardlaw, if you don't mind.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank y'all. Before we get started, I'm going to go to judges' comments real quick. I want to thank the members of the court that were at the candlelight vigil this past Monday. And also I want to thank the court as a whole and the city of Del Rio. A lot of people say the city and the county don't work together and this and that, but one of the things that we did come together on is the battered woman shelter. The city, or the county hired an agency to run that for us, Winter Garden, which is like a $223,000 contract, and we also provide the building, all the maintenance, utilities, IT, everything that's necessary for that building to run, and then the city helps us with another $90,000 a year to help towards that $223,000. So I want to thank the court and council and everybody. It was amazing to see the skit. I think the skit that was put on by the CASA, those two individuals, very emotional. It was. But the abuse is out there. Doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. There's still abuse. I think we need to bring awareness to that. But again, I want to thank the members of the court that were there, and council, and our first responders, just everybody that has to deal with that. It takes a special individual for y'all, David, in law enforcement, the nurses, the agencies, BCF, Winter Garden, all the agencies that are involved. It just takes a special group of people of y'all. Thank y'all.
You have a minute?
Yeah.
Approving item 5, approving and amending minutes.
Second that, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. Any comments? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Go to citizens' comments. They're in no order. I'm just reading them just as they're up here on top of the desk. Ms. Bollinger, Kelly Bollinger, if you want to come up, ma'am. If you want to come up, just come up to the podium here. As I read y'all's names, if y'all don't mind, if y'all are going to speak, just come up to the podium if y'all will tell us who you are. And we can go one at a time if y'all want, or if y'all want. It don't matter if y'all want to come up and be support. Let's go. Come on up. I do have. I don't know who wants to speak first.
Roger is the.
Roger's the
He's the lead man on this.
Okay. I've got 3 people. I've got Roger Cerny, Kelly Bollinger, and Mr. Martinez. And either one of y'all or all of y'all, if y'all want to speak, y'all are up, Roger.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of my neighbors. Our request is that speed bumps be placed on South Bayview Drive. That's in South Bayview Drive is one road, county road, maintained road that is approximately a mile, right at a mile in length. And for example, I live at the very end of South Bayview. My gate is the end of South Bayview. From my gate to Burke Drive, which intersects with a larger subdivision, probably populated by, I would say, no less than 25 or 30 residences. It's a very straight, level road. In fact, it almost looks like a drag strip if you were to go out there. And some people use it like that. it's quite frequently. My gate is 600 feet from my house, from the deck that I'm usually out on all, particularly during the summer evenings. And it's very common for someone, I don't know who it is, but it could be someone from the adjoining subdivision or in town. They are apparently, I only hear one vehicle at a time. They are apparently testing their hot rods. And they back up to our gate and roar the engines and take off. And they have that straight shot for about 500-600 feet. Anybody pulling out of their residences at that time would certainly be in danger. Children, pets, whatever. Also, we have several delivery trucks delivering packages out in that area. We have two trash companies, pickup garbage companies that are servicing that road. And let's face it, they get behind on their schedule. South Bayview looks like a pretty good place to make up time. And so really, it's if you look at it, you might say, well, there's not that many people out there, but there are more people out there than you think, particularly from that adjoining subdivision, Rancho Los Venados, that also use Burt Drive. So unfortunately, we now live in an era that we can no longer say, oh, I don't think that it happened, because things that are happening, and we've seen them happen very close to us. And to avoid a tragedy, we would request that speed bumps be placed on South Bayview. Judge, thank you so much, commissioners, for allowing me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Roger. Do any of y'all want to say something?
He kind of covered the basis of the whole deal, but traffic, we had made a complaint before, and they said, well, we'll just send a deputy out there. Well, the thing about it is, we don't have enough deputies to have one sitting there all the time. We have UPS, FedEx, and there's rider trucks and stuff like that. It's a 25-mile-an-hour zone, and at the entrance off the highway, there's a sign that says, residents, or it's got a sign, and it's supposed to be slow traffic, 25. I've seen them 60, 65, driving through there. Most of it is FedEx, UPS, and a rider truck. I guess I don't know what's that one's about. But we're just trying to slow them down before, like I told Fernando, before my little grandson, he's a little 3-year-old, he likes to venture outside of the gates. Well, he's not safe out there like that. So if we could slow it down with your help, maybe we can make it happen. Now, we've already taken it a little further, and we have purchased some speed bumps. And we didn't purchase the speed bump sign. Supposedly there was one that didn't. I've got a whole, I don't know, do you get this or who gets this?
You get it.
This is all our neighbors. Everybody is a yes for speed bump.
And just to be clear,
Petition.
we can't, we're not supposed to. Like I said, we're not supposed to engage in a conversation because of citizens' comments.
Okay.
So I'm not engaging in a conversation about what you're actually talking about. Do you need a copy of this?
Yes, sir.
That work? You're still up. Mr. Martinez, if you want to continue talking, I'll be right around.
I'll leave some room for Kelly.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Kelly Bollinger. I live at the very entrance of Bayview, whereas Roger Cerny lives at the very end. I live at the very beginning. My house is on one side. My office is on the other side. I'm in my office every day. I'm co-owner of Bollinger Drilling. The traffic that I see over the years has increased to no end. It's not just the rider, the UPS, and the FedEx. It's residents back there as well that are coming on up there. As Roger had said, it's a freeway. It's a straight stretch. There is no slowing down. There's one stop sign, Burke and Bayview. That's it. I have over the years questioned and wondering whether or not UPS or FedEx is going to make it to the stop sign by slamming the brakes on. I agree with Tito, the trash man. It's a long, straight stretch. Joe Frank did bring out sheriff that did sit on out there, but I agree with Tito, for speeding. It was not necessary. Our concerns are our residents on this street, and traffic's just going to do nothing more than increase everywhere. All I'm asking is for speed bumps, like all the other districts in this county, and the Val Verde County has them. You go into La Coletta, and in La Coletta, they had stop signs on all the incoming streets. Well, the residents obviously made complaints, and they put stop signs 4 ways to slow those residents down, or people coming in, FedEx, trash man, whoever it is. I would really greatly appreciate if you gentlemen and ladies would highly consider us getting these speed bumps for our safety and just to slow everybody down. Everybody. So many subdivisions that have go-throughs have these. We're requesting these. As Roger was saying, you go down Burke, and then you've got Condrey. Coming on out Condrey, it's pothole after pothole, so that's bringing more traffic towards us. Several years back, we asked Bo Nettleton to fix our entrance and move our mailboxes. Our mailboxes were on Highway 90. It was right on 90. It was a mud puddle when it rained. Bo Nettleton did. He fixed our entrance. We got the mailboxes moved. So I'd really appreciate it if you would really take into consideration putting these speed bumps in. As Roger said, he's at the end. I'm at the very other end. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And again, I'll get in trouble.
Right, got you.
He's sitting right over there. Mr. Reyes? This is still under citizens' comments.
Good morning, Lori Reyes. I'm here to speak about item number 15, the Sunflower Ranch. This is very concerning due to the location. If they actually succeed in building a, quote, smart city, that is going to destroy the roads out there, the amount of construction vehicles that would be required, and even more significant, the water. That is so close to the Devils River, and they will be tapping the aquifer that takes care of all of us in Val Verde County. So I don't know exactly what your agenda item is about, other than it said Sunflower Ranch, but I just wanted to raise these concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Hargrove.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I really don't even know what I want to say. It's not a joke. It's not fake news. It's serious as far as I'm concerned, because these cities, whether it's exactly like this or not, are going in Texas and in Florida. I don't know why we're allowing foreign nationals in the first place to come into Texas, much less our own county. I hope and pray that legally there's something that you guys can do and Laughlin can do, like they've done in the past, to stop this from happening. I think it's a horrible idea. I would assume everybody in this room agrees with me. I hope everybody agrees with me. Del Rio can't supply water to its citizens now. It's going to cost everybody God knows what when they're finished with that. With the drought ongoing and the lake like it is and the Devils protected, I would think that that would be huge. And I would like to know who's going to investigate the main people involved, because I, for one, don't believe for a second just because they're calling themselves people from Dubai that bought this land that they are not tied closely to the general. that bought the land originally. So, I lived on one of those ranches that that man bought, and it's very bothersome that we allowed that to happen, and it didn't happen. Like a lot of people think, there was a citizen that purchased that land from landowners. They were not told what was happening, and then he resold it to the Chinese at a very high dollar. I don't know if this is true, but I've been told that man is in jail. So, hopefully, that's the case. I just hope you will do everything in your power to stop this from happening in our county. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else on citizens' comments? No? Okay. Item 7, we don't have one. No action needed. Item 8, presentation of birthday of the month. Carlos Velarde, Joanne Cervantes, and our district judge, Roland Andrade. Want to wish all y'all a happy birthday. And I will tell y'all that came under citizens' comments, thank y'all for coming.
Yeah, Judge, there's, item 47 is at the end of the agenda, and no one are here to hear commissioners' comments.
Let me get done with this, and then if y'all want to have commissioners' comments, we can. Item 8, presentation of birthday for the month. Carlos Velarde, Joanne Cervantes, and our district judge, Roland Andrade. I want to wish y'all on behalf of the court, happy birthday. There is cake outside for everybody. There's 2 different types this go around. So, again, thank y'all so much for what y'all do. Carlos and Joanne, we work almost on a daily basis on something. So thanks to both of y'all. I know she's listening, because she says she does. So, Commissioner Wardlaw, did you want commissioners' comments? Did you want
Y'all all right with that?
I'm fine if you have something to say.
We're going to go to item 47 real quick, which is commissioners' comments. Commissioner Wardlaw.
I just want to be clear that everything Mrs. Hargrove said, I'm 100% behind. I am not for I was very unhappy when I found out about the Chinese government being involved with the purchase of the land in Valverde County.
Commissioner, if you want to go to the item, and that way we can just have a full-blown conversation on it. You okay with that?
Go to the item 15?
Yeah.
Let's go to item 15.
We're going to skip to item 15, discussion possible action on future development of the Sunflower Ranch. I had a little speech prepared, but Commissioner Wardlaw, if you want to continue, and then we move on to everything else.
One thing I thought about over the weekend was that I believe that there could be some federal involved here, because this is a scam where Brazilians and Argentinians, Dubai, they're buying into this, buying a yard of land on the Sunflower Ranch. Then they're going to supposedly build this city. It's going to be funded and make money through solar power and different means. But then you're supposed to get rebates back for owning your one yard. No one that buys the land is going to get any money. That's what I'm saying when I say it's a scam. It's like internet scams. They're using the internet. They're going international. They're crossing state lines, national lines, however you want to say it. We're looking at possibly being able to get the federal government involved, is what I've realized over the weekend, because this is internet fraud. It is a fraud and it is a scam. So whenever I say that, I'm not wrong. And I've already gotten kickback since the weekend for saying it's a scam and saying it's fraud. And I was misunderstood, is what I believe when I said that. You call down there, you get online and you buy your square yard, your square meter of land, and you're going to get ripped off. So you are being scammed, and it is a fraud. That's how I think we can maybe get internet fraud and FBI involved, and then maybe that will come down on them pretty good. But I am not for any foreign entities buying into Valverde County land. And I'm on the different boards on the Devil's River to try to help preserve the natural resources from the Southwest Water Coalition, the Devil's River landowners association because my family's ranch is in the watershed of the Devil's River. And as you all know, I stood up against the transmission line coming through, and same thing here. I am not for this Sunflower Ranch development, but believe me, it's a scam and a fraud on the customers that are buying it. And that's going to be the key, I think, for us to stop it.
Judge, I've been, getting familiar a little bit more on this for a couple of weeks. Do we know, or does Carlos, do we know if they bought this property, if it's already been bought and by who?
They, when you look, Del Rio Business, well, let me go back. January, February, March, we got a phone call and then got a text message and that the individual was trying to sell property in Dubai. I actually got a phone call from one of the individuals with the Smart City, wanted to know if I'd want to sit on their board. And I think at that point I told y'all that I got a phone call and told them I didn't understand what they were doing, didn't understand how they could, at that point I think it was $8 a square meter. I think it's what it was, which figures out to about $32,000 an acre for that ranch land. Ungodly amount of money for property that, Ms. Harder, you'd know better than I do, that depending on which property they're talking about, but in that area, it's really hard to raise it. There's areas out there that do have water. There's areas out there that, we drilled the well at the park, and I think we're getting 5 gallons a minute. But let's go back. We got a phone call from the individuals from one of the companies and wanted to know if we'd sit on the board. Answer's no. He said they were going to be doing crypto mining and this and that. And I said, well, can you explain it? And can you explain how people are going to buy into this, and then what is it that they have? And just had this conversation with the attorneys because, am I owning land? Do I own a square meter? Well, no, you own interest in that. Well, can you tell me which one? It's very vague. There's no, I don't understand it. And I don't understand how you can get away with selling a square meter of land, but yet I don't own the meter. Do I own the company that owns the meter, the square meter of land? Well, yes, own interest in it. Okay. So again, how does this work? How do we get paid back when I decide to leave? How do I get paid back? Well, it's going to have to build up, and then it doesn't make sense to me. It just really and truly does not make sense. I think Commissioner Wardlaw hit the nail on the head. At the end of the day, we're going to have to ask our attorney, our state attorney general's office to get involved, because how do you? And we talked to Carlos about this in February and March. Well, they're not subdividing. Is this a way to get around subdividing? Right? They're not. The rules right now don't apply to them because they're selling off a square meter, but yet you don't own the square meter. So again, I think at the end of the day, at the very least, we would need to get the state of Texas involved. So maybe they can explain it to us or look into this, how this is happening. There was a video of this individual saying that he's in Dubai, and you can go to Westland World and it's on there. Some of the areas that I guess the perception is that these properties are sitting on water. I think one of them, the best I can recollect, is Dolan Falls, and I know they don't own the property where Dolan Falls is at, but that's one of the pictures that I saw on one of their videos. The Devil's River, it's on there. Del Rio Business put out an article 2 weeks ago, and I ended up messengering them to tell them that their article was wrong. They had on there that it was on U.S. Highway 163, and they did change it, but I couldn't find anything under Del Rio Business that said that they had messed up, other than they just changed 163 to 1024. Why does that matter? 163, you get off of 163, you get off Myers, you get off Dolan. At the end of it, there's water, right? You end up on the Devil's River. The property, when you go to westlandworld.com and you look at their pin drop that they put, it is on 1024. That is probably the best guess on where their planning on doing it. That property, is owned by, Greenalia. And when you look at what Ms. Hargrove just said, Franken, is the person that bought the majority of this 89,000 acres. It's all not together, but it's about 89,000 acres in Valverde County. And then it went from Franken to Brazos properties. There's property that is Sunflower. The article mentioned Sunflower. They own 2 tracks out there off of 1024, not off of 163. And then you have Blue Hills Power, Wind and Power, that ended up with some of this out of Franken's property. And then you have Greenalia. As best we can tell by what is on Westland World's website as to where they're pin dropping, where this place is going to be, it is on the property that Greenalia owns. Some of the account numbers is again, this is by their website, don't exactly know how accurate that pin drop is, but it's property ID numbers 18111, 18437, 18223, and around that area. And those properties are owned by Greenalia. Now, the article that Del Rio Business put out said the Sunflower Ranch, that property is out on 1024. Their property ID numbers are 132122, 132124. And there's a property across the street on 1024. I don't understand how you can sell a square meter of land for whatever price, but yet, and get away without doing the subdivision and doing all the other rules. They have not, as of last week when I looked, they've not applied. A city or a development this size would have to be, and you stop me if I'm wrong, Carlos, they would have to be, their wastewater discharge or whatever would have to be licensed through the state of Texas. Not so much through the county because the gallons are higher per day. As of last week, they've not applied for a permit when I was looking it up, okay? The water supply that it would take to do something like this, asking around, I don't think that that ranch where they pin drop has that type of water supply underneath it to do something like this. It's pretty scary. And I keep looking at you, Ms. Hargrove, because I agree with you too. It's a little bit scary. Who's going to take care of this? If this court doesn't pay attention, it'll fall through the cracks. And so we are all aware of it. We will be asking the state to look into it, and we will continue to monitor their videos and any type of progress that are on these tracts of land, whether it's Sunflower or Greenalia. Those are the 2 companies that looks like right now that could be, because they reference Sunflowers on one deal, and then the pin drop on the property where Greenalia is at.
Where's Greenalia?
It's on 1024.
Like, from Comstock, how far?
22, maybe 21, 22 miles out on 1024. It's before you get to the Blue Hills, the road that says Blue Hills. Okay, but all that property, all that property, when you look at ownership, Franken, Brazos, and then some of the Blue Hills, and then it either went to, some of that went to Sunflower, but it still started with those people on top. And then Greenalia ended up buying off of Brazos. So the 89,000, there's about 89,000 and change. And that property is actually, when you look it up, the 89,000 properties of non-continuous or contiguous property is for sale. Yeah, it's for sale today. I'm thinking that the Chinese guy that bought it, Sue or whatever his name is, I think he's just trying to figure out a way to get out from under it. It's on both.
From 163 all the way to Highway 9.
It's on both. It's on both sides out there. Some of it's on both sides.
On the east side, that'll be part of that old dam ranch, on the west side, either toward the walls.
And again, when you go to look, it's an enormous amount of property. It's just huge. What scared me, and was it that, and I'm gonna go back to what Kerr said, what scared me is that there's people out there buying into it, because when you look at the pictures, geez, it's amazing. You have a picture of Dolan Falls, you have a picture of the Devil's River, you have all this. Where this property's at is not that, right? And they're buying it. They're buying this property. I would assume, because they keep advertising, I think. But you're taking a piece of property. I don't know what the ranch land is worth out there, but I know it's not worth $32,000 an acre. They bought, I think, the Tyrus Ranch was part of that, and that scares me because now you keep going down the road and you will end up at the Devil's River. You go down Dolan, we're in Precinct 2, the pictures that are being taken, I think, they're a little bit misleading. I'm not going to say, hell, they might have a creek that I've not seen on their property, but it's a little bit misleading. Yes, ma'am.
May I ask a question?
Mhm.
If it so happened that the property owners drilled and they found water,
Mhm.
is there anything legally in place that would stop them from using or exporting as much water as they could pump?
There's an individual back there shaking his head, and I would have to agree with him that there's not a whole lot that we're going to be able to do.
And
So what
Judge,
you're saying is a groundwater conservation district would be the only way that would prevent that from happening.
But again, we're getting into a different conversation, though, Judge, because part of that conversation was also that if you're using it for your own use on your own property and not selling it, then you can go ahead and use it. So again,
That can be regulated by groundwater, even the amount.
and the last time, and we're going to get off a little bit, but it's part of the conversation. When the last time that the county and the city, well, as we've gone back in the past, one of the main concerns was if I'm drilling a well, I'm using it on my own property, you can't tell me what to do. That was one of the biggest concerns, if you'll remember, because it came up in the city, it came up with the county. You're going to regulate me. How can you do this? And then it blew up, right? So, in answer to your question, and I'm going to agree with the gentleman back there shaking his head no, I don't think it's going to happen. I think where we'd have a little bit more teeth would be on the discharge, because we do know that will need to be licensed, the wastewater discharge. There's no way of getting around that. It will have to be licensed.
Judge, if the court would like to take some action, the order of my office to submit a question to the Attorney General for the Attorney General's opinion regarding the real estate issues mainly, and at least get the state engaged in that way.
I think at the bare minimum, Mr. Martinez, that would need to happen. How would we? I don't want to limit to what you're going to go do with the motion. So
You could just say, basically submit a request for an Attorney General's opinion regarding the Sunflower Ranch LLC.
and westlandworld.com.
Exactly. So not only the real estate issues, but even perhaps the method in which they are selling and perhaps misleading
Judge,
as broad as possible.
Okay. And westlandworld.com is the one pushing all this. The Sunflower Ranch is where the Sunflower Ranch LLC is what popped up on Del Rio Business, that's where it was going to go. When we looked up the pin drop, it was not close to that. It was on property at Granalia. So I think if we stuck with Westland World, since they're the ones presenting it, I think that would be a good start. Are y'all okay with that?
Judge, I have a question for David.
Yes, sir.
So the illegalities of the land and property ownership that the judge is referring to would be the key to make this internet fraud.
Well, I mean, I don't know enough to answer that question.
Because if it's a fraud, then we can take it to the internet. And then
Again,
you
I
get
don't know
then you get
enough
the
to
feds
answer that
involved.
question, but we could certainly put it on people's radar, and see where it goes.
Well, I'll make a motion, that our county attorneys, our council, send a question to our Attorney General of the state to figure out the legalities of Westland World, and, is that enough?
I'll second the motion.
Y'all okay with that?
I'm okay, Judge.
I've made a motion, we have a second. Anybody have any questions on
That's for the Attorney General's opinion, am I right, Judge, to get the ball
Well,
started?
and I'm trying not to limit my motion, that way he can take off to go do whatever else he needs to go do. Y'all okay?
There will be some issues, Judge, that we may raise that the AG probably will not take a stance on one way or another. But we can raise all of them and they'll tell us what
Okay.
it is.
All right. Y'all good? At this point, I've got a motion, I've got a second, I'm fixing to take a vote. We will try to keep track of this, and not let it fall through the cracks. And all of us are concerned at the court level, and I'm sure every council member is concerned also, just like all the citizens in Valverde County. That we're concerned, okay? I'm gonna go, yes, ma'am.
Sir, I think you need to go on because, like you said, everybody misunderstood what you said about fraud or a scam or whatever. Maybe you somehow need to smooth that over and make it known, because you're saying then, Judge, that there are literally people that are buying or have purchased already?
In the
Land out there?
videos that we've seen, I would assume, by some of the remarks, that there is people that have bought into this land, okay, and that have bought into the Westland Worlds program, okay? I would assume that just by looking at their videos, but again, it's their videos, they're trying to promote something in order to sell more.
Well, that's what happened with the Waterloo area of Del Rio way back in the late 1800s or early 1900s, when somebody came in from Waterloo, Iowa, bought all that land out there, put it out in the newspapers and stuff to buy farmland in Del Rio, Texas, irrigated farmland.
Yeah.
That's how all those landlocked 10 and 20 acre pieces happened
Well,
out there,
and again-
because it was a scam.
Yeah, no, and again, I think we're starting with the questions. We will try to keep track of it, and I say try because it's really confusing. I mean, we've looked at their videos. There's also one that's called Westland World Scam City Episode 1. And that one gives you a breakdown of all I'm not saying go look at it, I'm just saying it's out there. It also gives you a breakdown as to how some of these properties were bought, who bought them, and who's ended up with. And it starts with like Franken, and then ends up giving you the individual from the Chinese, and then ended up the billionaire or whatever, then end up with a bunch of these paying for all this property. And we ended up meeting him probably in 2020. There was chamber members, the base. We were out there trying to figure out where they were going to, because at that point there was going to be a wind farm. And we ended up meeting with them. And one of the areas that they were going to do the wind farm on all this property, if you'd have said, where's the worst place to put it in Valverde County where all the flight plans for Laughlin intersect, where's the worst place to put it? That's where they were going to put it. Right. And then that they didn't want any trouble. They just wanted to, come in because they'd had a major investment, and they wanted, how are we going to work together? And then when the state of Texas started passing some laws and the federal government, then the wind farm went away. And then the wind farm went away, and on this property here that Granalia owns is where the solar farm is going to be. And now, as far as we can tell, when we started looking it up off of Westland World, wind farm, solar farm, and now smart city. I don't think they know what to do with the property, but that's just my opinion.
Judge, from what I could find, it seems like there's plenty of people from Brazil that have bought in. So you've got multiple international infractions on the fraud thing all at once.
And
Good
again,
transaction.
we'll ask those questions, and see what we can do. I have a motion and I have a second. If y'all are okay, I'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Were you here for the public defender? For the public defender? Okay, so we'll take care of it. That way you don't have to just sit there and listen to us. Okay. Item 18, discussion possible action to rescind the order approving the interlocal agreement between Culbertson County and Valverde County for public defense. Okay, I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 19, we'll take care of what we'd already done. We did it, we rescinded it, now we're going back in with another one. Item 19, discussion possible action regarding a revised interlocal agreement between Culbertson County and Valverde County regarding public defender services in Valverde County, the Texas.
Motion to approve, Judge.
I have a motion,
I will
Commissioner
second
Flores,
that, Judge.
second Commissioner Vasquez. Basically, we entered into an agreement. There were some funds, different funds that had come in different processes. Therefore, we had to do away with the first one in order to do the second one. David?
There was an additional grant that was awarded to Far West Texas, I believe, to the tune of about $80,000, which lowers the first year's cost to Valverde County. That's why we have the new interlocal agreement. It'll be at a lower monthly rate because of that.
Save money.
Grant. It's a one-time grant, but we're certainly appreciative of the opportunity to take advantage of it.
Okay. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. I'm gonna go back. We did 8. D9. Discussion and possible action set aside funds from available appropriation to purchase property, City of Del Rio to build a new fire station. Thank y'all. Thank you. We had talked about $140,000 for the property. By the time we close and everything, we'll probably be close to 150. So I would ask that we set aside $150,000. It would be for the 2.8 acres out on Highway 90 west. Property does have a water well on it already. It is a joint. It joins or backs up against Precinct 3 yard, to where if we needed another access to Precinct 3 yard for any reason, we'd have one off of 90. The funds, we have a 2023 tax note that we could pull this from and would not hurt the balance on anybody else's account.
I will make a motion that we approve Judge item number 9.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Vasquez,
I've
second
got a
Commissioner Garcia.
Question, how
Yes.
much money do we have in that section?
Left over,
Well, available.
about 1.2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of money there.
Yeah, and that was, I actually brought that up, we were going through the budget. And we have another item here, and we can talk a little bit more about that tax note, because we have another item here on the gun range. And give you all a little bit more details on that too. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 10, discussion possible action to set aside funds to purchase desk and office furniture to be used at the Judge Antonio Paz County Annex Building. Commissioner Vasquez is having more and more events. I think we had the training and the election.
Yes, sir, correct.
Election training this weekend
And this upcoming week, Judge.
and fixing to have it again. There is a library, VA,
Belong is coming in there pretty soon,
Yeah, we
Judge.
just signed that one.
Correct.
Community action?
Community action is also there about that.
So I would like, if possible, for the court to set aside $20,000 to buy furnishings for this facility, the $20,000 to come out of contingency to help furnish
Motion to
some
approve,
of this
Judge.
area. You okay with that?
Yes, sir, Judge.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, and thank you, gentlemen commissioners, I appreciate that.
No, thank you. Yeah, we're getting a lot of compliments on that. Thank you so much. Item 11, discussion possible action to appoint 2 representatives for Robert E. County Appraisal District Board of Directors for the 2026-2027 term. We had appointed, George Wardlaw is on there, and then we had appointed, Val Cadena. Val Cadena was for the unexpired term, and basically we need 2 members. I think we can reappoint both of them, or come up with new names. Val just got on there, that's for sure, so I don't know whether, so I think he needs to be reappointed. George, I don't know if he continues, if he still wants to serve, but.
That was my question, Judge, if they still want to serve on there?
Val does.
Val does?
I haven't talked to George.
He does.
Okay, so we could have entertain a motion for the 2026-2027 term to reappoint, George Wardlaw and,
Make a motion to approve, Judge.
both of them.
Yes, sir, both of them.
Taken. Have motion Commissioner Vasquez and Commissioner Flores, for both, George Wardlaw and, you okay? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 12, discussion possible action on land acquisition for drainage off of Senegas Road. This project here is a Senegas Road project that is within Precinct 4. Matter of fact, Commissioner Flores is a commissioner in that area and wanted, to look at redoing Leonel Boulevard, Senegas Road, starting from the city of Del Rio, city limit sign, all the way down to the duck pond. We're in the process and do have plans for that road and drainage area. There is a 75-foot drainage, there's a 75-foot easement that would go through Gustavo Flores' property, which is also our county code. In no way, before we get started, at all, I don't think, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, would this court entertain a taking or of land? Okay, so I want to get that off the table if y'all are okay. Okay, to condemn a piece of land in order to end up with a drainage easement. There is a 75-foot, and this is where it gets a little, in my opinion, where it gets a little tricky, because we have, the landowner is also a county commissioner. Just for transparency, when we first started this, this drainage easement, or the 75-foot, we didn't know whether we were going to need it because we were looking at the old Senegas Road. And at any point, Carlos, I don't see the other guy on there, but at any point, Carlos, you stop. So as plans moved forward, we went that there's a 75-foot railroad easement along what used to be called Old Senegas Road, which is dirt right now. And that goes from the center of the railroad tracks to the edge of Gustavo Flores' property. We can't use that. Railroad don't let us use it. So there's a 75-foot that we need, or was presented while these plans were being drawn for a drainage easement. During that conversation, the city, we've had several meetings with the city, and the city was going to cross our drainage canal or pipes or whatever in 3 different locations. So what the engineers came up with was that if they could put the city's sewer line within the 75-foot easement, then they would move it above the drainage pipe. You have a picture of that? Above the drainage pipe, in order for it only to cross once. Okay. Now, we're at the point right now that I don't know, and me and, Commissioner Flores and myself, we had a conversation, and I told him I'll just put it on the agenda because me and you go back and forth, ain't accomplishing anything. But the way the plan looks right now, Commissioner Flores, the conversation is gonna be, does he wanna sell, does he wanna give, does he not want to do anything with it, just to cut to the chase. We thought, when it says Seneca Road, we thought that when we first started all this, when we borrowed money, which is part of the 2023 tax bill, $6 million to go for this project, $1.5 million to go to the gun range, $2 million to go to sports complex. When we borrowed the money, we were gonna use, drainage to go from here, back this way, well, all the way starting in City Limits line, but here, and then back this way, and we were gonna use Senegas Road, the whole Senegas Road, from railroad tracks to here, to run the drainage. We can't use it because that's what I said belongs to railroad, they're not gonna let us use it. So the plan next was to use this area between the property, this line right here, between this and here, 75-foot easement, this is property line, we've got, Commissioner Flores, or Gustavo Flores' property, there's 75 foot here. To run the drainage through here, and then we'll have to get with the other landowner, if we can figure this out, to go through here. The sewer line is gonna come through here, and then this way, back down here, and it's gonna end up crossing here to go to the wastewater treatment plant. That's that main, trunk line. So the concern is right now is, Commissioner Flores needs to tell us what is it that he wants to do with the easement.
Well, I'm gonna speak in my private capacity as a property owner, as a taxpayer. I do not want to sell the land. I've talked to numerous, engineers stating that there's no need for 75-foot easement to run the sewer or the drainage easement. 10, 15 feet per, 15 feet for drainage and 15 feet for sewer. I've talked to the city several times. They're okay with running their sewer line, crossing it by Dollar General. I want to give an easement, dedicate an easement to the county, so it won't cost the taxpayers any money, and one to the city. But I want to dictate where they're going to go. The one for the drainage is fine right there, right off Union Pacific property line. But the sewer for the city is going to go, they have two different other options. On this side of Dollar General, on the other side. Now, what I want to clarify, I do not want to sell the land. I do not want to take taxpayer money. I want to dedicate an easement, only for drainage to the county and one to the city for sewer. But I don't want them tied in, because that easement will not allow me to build anything on that property. So if I get 15 feet here, 15 over here, not gonna hurt me, I can deal with that. I can use it for parking. I do not want to sell 75 feet, it's just out of proportion, way too much land. Way too much land for two little simple, easements. I've talked to the engineer, Texas Infrastructure, I've talked to Carlos, I've talked to the city, and they're okay with it. I mean, I don't know about you, but you told me 10 feet minimum would be more than enough for that drainage easement. A couple of weeks ago, I told you I'm going to give up to 15 feet.
You have the 15 feet in the middle of the 75 feet.
No, I mean, no, not in the middle. You're not gonna cut my land off. Y'all need to understand, I don't want to sell it. I'm gonna dedicate an easement to the county and to the city.
That's, I guess, you tell me if I'm wrong.
Why 75 feet? I mean,
No, it's okay.
it's almost an acre.
That's 0.87.
Well, it's almost an acre on it.
The land has a for sale sign on it.
It does.
So you're willing to sell the land, but you don't want to sell the 75 foot, I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, one, because you are a commissioner and you're gonna be making money off the county and you don't want it.
Not the county, the taxpayers.
taxpayer.
Yeah.
County.
Well, I mean, yeah,
It's the same thing.
but, well, not really, not to me.
No, it is, because y'all pay our tax, y'all pay tax.
Well, that's why, well, they'd be the ones paying.
But the county's being the one writing.
We just sign off on it.
Commissioner Flores, we agree on this, I'm agreeing with you, okay, we're okay. The city, in them running by the Dollar General, because we had this conversation, the project, that means they're gonna have to run sewer in Senegas Road, if they're gonna cross.
They already have it on Cienega Road.
But not the main trunk line.
They had no problem. I spoke to Greg Velasquez several times already. We're gonna have a meeting on Friday with their engineers concerning that. They're gonna invite
And now we're
Carlos.
getting into, how much of a conversation should you be having as a landowner without the rest of the county?
Well, not just a landowner, but as a commissioner.
No, you're gonna have to separate both. You can't do both. You can't do both.
Well, then as a private citizen, as a private, property
And
owner.
at that point, we had a conversation with, Greg last week. And the conversation that he told us was that he'd rather not, that he didn't want to move the sewer line again because it was gonna cost more money.
Well, they haven't moved it yet, period.
But it's hard.
How are they gonna move it? I mean, they haven't moved it.
This is not gonna work. I'm gonna let you talk and then you let me talk.
Well, no, of course, I mean,
They've spent, $78,000 or $79,000 moving it, just on plans, but not moving it, because we all sat in a meeting and you were part of that meeting. Now, and I really don't care, okay, but if they're gonna, if it doesn't slow down the project, and they can work with a 15-foot easement up there, and they're okay with it, then it solves all our problems, right?
and if they need 20, I mean, I'll give them 20 here,
My
whatever.
deal is though that we asked them to change, cost them $80,000 to move it here, because we didn't want to slow down this project. So are we going to, part of that conversation needs to be is, we've already taken care of this easement, right? Because I think a 15-foot easement takes care of our problems. That's right.
In the middle of the 75?
No, not in the middle.
Why in the middle?
No, we need to relocate the plants on.
No, I mean, it can be relocated.
It's not a problem.
Okay.
Right, it's not a problem, it's a matter of realigning this box here. Realigning the box at this, realigning the box at this corner here, moving that box further down to where this drainage and that drainage, we realign the box, right? And then we can stay within that 15 foot, off of the property line that runs parallel with the railroad tracks. That should not be a problem. So ours is fixed, okay? Let's meet with the city and figure out over here. And the reason I'm saying that is because I don't want, this is just my opinion, of course, at some point it's gonna have to say something. I don't want to move, we're already doing this in 3 phases, right? And the main concern by doing, the sewer along here, and when they were gonna move it to Senegas Road, the old Senegas Road, was that they wouldn't stop us from doing the work on Senegas. That's gonna be the whole problem. When are they going to start? And if at the end of the day, that's all that works out is here, then we'll have to redo the schedule for Senegas Road that we go up to wherever they're going to go to. Does that make sense? We won't be able to go any further.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I don't think that would be a problem. I mean, we waited long enough for this project to kick off. But what I want the people to know is that I don't want to take their money. I'm willing to give an easement on both of them. And the other thing that we failed, we need to reach out to, Union Pacific. 8-10 years ago, with the first water, extension that I did, we acquired an easement to go underneath the railroad tracks. And matter of fact, I called this morning, Eric, Lewis. She's with the right-of-way easement in this area. I'm pretty sure we can work something with them. I mean, that one didn't take about 4-6 months. I think they charge like $1,500 to go underneath the railroad bridge.
Well, I can tell you the city's working on their way.
And it's not to delay the project, the easement, I mean, the 50 feet is there. I mean, what I'm saying is, why didn't we look at that option?
We did. And not only that, the city's been looking and trying to get a bore underneath here with the railroad for years, and they can't get it done.
I don't know how they allow me to go underneath the railroad bridge, right next to their concrete pillars.
But I can tell you, in every meeting that the city's had, they're looking and trying to do a bore here to get their wastewater line done. And they haven't been able to get it done, right?
It is a complicated procedure to deal with the UPRR and then the insurance. You need to have railroad insurance on your contractors and not the county.
So bottom line is, let's solve this. You give the county a 15-foot easement along your property line that runs parallel to the railroad tracks, right? 15-foot easement. We will work with the city that if you go have meetings, we need to be involved to figure out where they're going to cross in order to come up with a plan as to how we're going to do the construction on Seneca, to see how far back, if it's going to delay us or not. You okay with that?
No, I'm fine. Perfect.
Okay. We good? Okay. Good.
Yeah, no money, but I don't need no money.
Everything that we said is as a record, as a motion, we don't need it.
I don't believe that you need to take any official action at this point.
Okay.
Meetings are happening, again, you have your final plan, and then at that point.
And I gotta have it in my private capacity, property owner, not as a commissioner.
Yes, sir.
No action? We good?
They don't call me commissioner when I go in there. Hey, Gustavo.
No, that ain't what they call you.
Later. Yeah, I know, I've been called the same thing. Is that funny? Oh, it's all good, though. I'm glad we got this done. Okay. Item 13, discussion possible action MOU with the city of Del Rio concerning the battered woman
Motion
shelter.
to approve, Judge?
And just, if you, part of that is,
Yeah, that one change in the language, Judge.
if we can get it to.
I sent it to you.
Yes,
I had
I'm
that
good.
back, so we'll go ahead and finalize it and then send it to the city.
Yeah.
So that they can, take some action on it.
Yeah.
Motion to approve adding, any
Change the language.
language.
Okay. Commissioner Flores,
I will second that.
motion, Commissioner Vasquez second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 14, discussion possible action approving ratification and acceptance of a federal award of $2,316,420 Poverty County Target Range Facility Construction. This right here, we'd received like $1.5 million. We'd spent some money. We were down to about 1.3 million is what we had left over for the target range. We get a phone call, Matt gets a phone call, and we got a phone call that if we'd take another 800,000. Yeah, the answer was yes. So Carl and everybody did their magic. And the conversation also was the 800,000 going to be added to the first 1.5, and then whatever we spent comes out? Nope, this is absolutely all new money. And so we were back up to $2,316,420. We had set aside that we'll accept this, the court wants. We have a contract. Good news, bad news. Good news is that we did receive $2,316,420. Bad news is the contract was $3,028,000 to build it. So we were a little bit short, but we had already borrowed $1.5 million with the Senegas Road project, the 1.5 for the target range, and the $2 million for the sports complex. So out of the bottom line is, as of today, we're $761,256.01 in the good, after you add all those numbers together. Bad news is that when we did the plans, because we didn't know if we were gonna do the inside in-house, because to try to save some money, there's an item later on here, we'll go to item 25 later on, in order for us to go back out for bid to the contract, to get a bid from the contractor to see what it would cost to build the inside out of the gun range, where the offices and bathrooms are going to be, because we were gonna be short on money. So with the extra money, with the money we already had borrowed,
And doing all that, we have funds available to finish off the gun range, the inside, and have a complete building. So, as of right now, everything looks good. So I need a motion to ratify the acceptance of the award.
Motion to approve.
Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Garcia. Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. And we will have copies of this in case, Ms. Hargrove, in case you want one, you were shaking your head. That way, on the dollars for the gun range.
Okay. No, I wish I'd have seen it on the agenda before I didn't speak on it.
Oh, no, that's good. I'm happy. I'm sorry. All right, we did item 15. We'll go to item 16, discussion possible improving correspondence and the authority to use grant funds from the Community Planning and Development HUD San Antonio office. Second. This one here is on it says on here the Bob Chavita Park. It's a $2 million and change grant that will be also, the court put aside another $2 million for the project behind the 7th and 8th grade. Okay. I have a motion to approve Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores, and we are having a little bit of an issue with timing and paperwork, because evidently everybody's still, they're working but furloughed and some people are not working. So as soon as that gets taken care of, we'll go forward. Have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Discussion possible action on approving the letters of support for residents supporting future interstate highway formula program. They're redoing the formula on some of the highways here, not only here, but in other states. The formulas that they've used were old, so now they're trying to have the state draft new formulas how to spend money. Okay, and it'll be to our benefit. So,
Motion to approve, Judge, on this resolution.
a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. 18 and 19 we've already done. Item 20, discussion possible regarding 2026 county resolution for Texas indigent. Second. A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 21, discussion possible action to allow Texas Workforce Commission vocational rehabilitation. Motion to approve, Judge.
Second that, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Vasquez. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 22, discussion possible.
Motion to approve, Judge, is presented.
Second. A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 23, discussion possible action on request
Motion
conditions.
to approve, Judge, item number 23.
A motion, Commissioner Vasquez and Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 24, discussion possible
Motion
action.
to approve, Judge.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 25, discussion possible action on Commissioner's Court
Motion to
approval.
approve.
And Ms. West will be the one signing. I have a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. This one, if y'all give me a little bit of time to get the dollars right, that way we know what we're doing. Item 26, discussion possible action on approving the purchase of a new pole pads from the outfitter at a total cost of $62,717.55. Purchase will be covered 80% by HAVA grant. I've got a question. I have a motion. Let me get a second. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Second, Commissioner Vasquez. The total cost of pole pads are $62,000. We are going to match it with $12,543.51. The total grant from HAVA would have been as much of, if it would have been the highest part, HAVA grant would have been the $62,000. Is that right?
They only do 80%.
No.
Right.
Okay, but it's
They
80%.
call it an 80% grant, but it's not really an 80% grant because
No, because we just went down.
that's how numbers work. Right, so it's really a $50,000 grant from the state. You kick in the
And that's
extra
what I'm
12.
getting at,
Right.
because
You kick in the extra 12 to get to the 62.
if they were gonna kick in 62 and we kicked in another 12, wouldn't it make sense that we could spend 74?
It would make sense, but that's not how it's going to do. The best way to think about it is,
Then it's not anything.
the best way to think about it is if you spend $62,000, they will match 80% of that.
So if I spent 74,000, would they match 80% of that?
They would not. 62 is the cap.
And that's.
I know, I agree with you, Judge.
I just want you to.
It's
yeah.
the same thing with the 10%
Right,
grant.
and we've been over this, right? It's like, if you're gonna give me 62, can I go spend
Right.
74? You
Just
give
like
me all
the
of
10% grant on the 800,000, which, okay.
Okay. So we need $12,543.51. 5,000 will come out of the Chapter 19. And the rest of that money is gonna come out of the elections out of the 175.
It will.
Okay? That's part of your motion, Commissioner?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Commissioner Flores, motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Thanks, Matt. Anybody against? No. Item 27, discussion possible action on approving election judges, alternate judges, and clerks for November 4th.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. And everything's going along pretty smooth, right?
Wow.
Huh? Right? Wow. It is. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? How come you're just back there smiling? Right? Pretty smooth up here. I don't know about y'all, but it's pretty smooth. Item 28, discussion possible action on Laughlin request to use SE Ranch on October 16th to conduct a down pilot simulation.
Motion to approve, Judge.
And I think there was some wording in there, David, that you didn't like and they were gonna fix.
It's good on that, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, you're just gonna fix it.
I will second that, Judge.
A motion, Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Vasquez. As soon as that gets fixed, then we're okay. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 29, discussion possible action on application for an additional project for the DAG grant for human training performance.
Motion to approve, Judge, item number 29.
Second.
Judge, if I may add that they changed the project name. It's not HPTC anymore, it's TACFIT.
What does that?
Tactical Aircrew Fitness Complex.
Technical what?
It does. Tactical airfield?
Air crew?
Tactical Aircrew Fitness Complex. That's the new project name.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds better, really? Can't say it. Okay. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Real quick, we just passed this, we were told last Monday, always an opportunity, right? Last Monday, from the city that they would not be the ones applying for this $1 million grant. And they asked if we could put it on. I told them I'd put it on the agenda and see what the court wanted to do. So we are, starting with Judge Valdez, 4.2, about a $4.2 million grant with him. And then that court and this court, between the three courts, Judge Valdez, the court before this court sat, and then this court, we've applied for about 14, and then we're applying for another 5 and another 1. So when we get done, if these other 2 grants are approved, we will have applied for $20 million. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there. It's pretty impressive. Again, I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it. City didn't want to do this when county stepped up and did it. Just throw that out there. Shouldn't, but I did. And we took a vote already. Item 30, discussion possible action pertaining to the election audit report. Ms. Garcia. All the red is gone.
Hello. I still have not gotten a reply from the Secretary of State. They were in here last week, and I asked them, and they told me that the people that did the audit are not the ones that replied to me, it's somebody else, and that they have forwarded my requests, and I have not gotten anything from them. We have gone out to the streets, and we've fixed them. We were out there yesterday, too, just double checking, and So anything on provisionals and statement of residence, we don't know anything on those yet.
Ma'am, I was gonna say, if Qualia was the line between 4
4
and
and 10.
1, did you go into 1 very far to see if
I
there were
went-
houses that were in the wrong one off of Qualia? Or-
I went
or
into the software and I looked up the street and made sure they all had the same precinct. Did we get to fix some of those?
Yes, Qualia should be fixed already.
Well, all of the
There-
10, all of
There's some
one,
that are inside
Mhm.
precinct 1, like
like
way inside,
Hillcrest and
that were in the wrong precinct.
Chardonnay and all
They
those
should
streets.
be
that-
Not Rose, the one after Rose.
Rose is Gilchrist.
Gilchrist.
Gilchrist and Larkwood is not on Qualia, and then Vergie is not on North Main and is not on Mary Lou.
Which one was
Michelle
that?
is off as well, and that's up north,
Oh,
same
okay.
thing.
Mhm.
Those are inside of precinct
Mhm.
1, away from the line, so I'm just asking if
We'll
y'all
look at
went
it again.
inland, like into the
Well-
precinct.
We'll look at it again, just to double check.
Yes, ma'am.
You text her a list of all those streets.
Yeah.
Just text her a list, and then she can come back and do it. Where'd you have yours? I'm sorry.
Mhm.
The conflict was on North Main Street. That they stayed in precinct 3, and they should have been
Oh,
in
they're in
precinct,
that little area.
precinct 1.
We fixed some on Royal Way, we fixed some on,
On North Main?
yeah, like on Virgie there,
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
and Michelle.
Right.
So they go on both sides.
Did we look at those already?
Mhm.
Have we already gone out?
Mm-hmm.
Is there some way to do a test run or something, or pop them up again? 'Cause I know
I was gonna say-
This November,
That
sir,
was a good point, just to make sure.
this November is a proposition.
No surprises.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask, I asked you yesterday, wanted to ask you now in front, so everyone can get the answer. So I asked you if you had written procedures for the statement of residence.
Right here.
And for the, processing of provisional ballots, because that was one of the things that was in the document that they wanted written procedures, and you said that, yes, you had them, so I just wanted it to be in public so people would know that you've done that stuff.
Yeah, I wrote everything I did down.
Processing provisional ballots.
Okay. And the statement of residence.
So when you asked, have we had those? Those procedures?
This after the audit.
Audit, okay. So I guess, it would be nice if maybe, even if we're piecemealing it together, I don't care, but that you bring it, to us. Next time you come, bring it to us, or it's in our binders. That way we can look at it, maybe vote on it, you know, to make us move forward. Yeah, please. Right. And again, even if we're gonna piece it a little bit, it's okay, as long as we're fixing the problem as we're
Keep
moving
revising
forward.
it.
Yes,
Okay.
please. Is that okay with that?
Yeah.
Any other questions? I'm looking back out there at you. Is there any questions?
Well, I have an answer to a question.
Okay. That's amazing that you have an answer to a question like that.
There was a question about how we can test if there's a check. One of the new the laws that passed in this legislation year is that we do have to do a poll test. On the poll pads, we do have to do an LNA test. And so we have to do that 48 hours prior to the election. Now, if you give me names of people who you know for a fact are having issues that they're not in the correct precinct, because what we do is we receive the voter file from voter registration. It is uploaded into our poll pads, and that's how voters check in at polling locations. If I have a list, and I already have a people on my list because we get the same people sometimes at every election. I'm in the wrong precinct. So I already have a running list of people that I'm going to check, but that could be part of that LNA when we do that. So if you give me a list of names, when I do that LNA on those poll pads, I can run them and check them. And then one of the new things is what the state is trying to do. They don't want us to do provisional ballots. They don't like provisional ballots. So one of the new systems that our poll pad has is, and with the new fleet of poll pads that we will be getting that you just approved today, we will be able to now physically, because now once a voter shows up to the polling location and they have that SOR, if they come in and say, I've moved within the county, as long as they're registered voters in the county, and they say, we have moved. I'm now living, I was in precinct 10, but now I'm in precinct 30. At that point, if they fill out that SOR, the statement of residence, we can go ahead and immediately correct their address in that poll pad. They will now vote in their new precinct. The only thing is we have to immediately send that SOR to voter registration so they can make the change in their system. So when at the end of the night, when we pull the voting records for that day, they will match up.
Nice.
I had talked to an attorney because I knew Ms. Chapoy wanted to do that with the statement of residence, change them immediately. When we went to the meeting, they told us it would be for the primary election, not for this upcoming one. They said because this election was already requested and the law had come in after, so it wasn't going to be effective for this election. And I emailed them again. The first one, I still talked to them. They said it was repealed, so it's not going to happen. So yesterday, when she sent us that email, I emailed again the Secretary of State attorneys, and I asked him to explain the whole thing because, what was going on or going to happen, and they still haven't replied, but I've got a question out there for the attorneys.
What you just said would be amazing. What you're saying concerns me. We just need to get in the same book, please.
That's why I emailed them so they could reply.
And I'm not trying to have a gotcha moment or nothing. I called you up because you were making faces. And it's just easier to have this conversation.
Right.
That way we all hear, and it's out.
Right.
And nobody feels like we're trying to hide something or sweep it under the rug. We just need to get better. I need to get better. We all need to get better. Again.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, if y'all ain't on the same page.
No.
Well, I'm waiting for that answer so I can show it to her.
And I too, right now, when I get back into the office, I will make that contact with the Secretary of State's office but from my understanding and from when I went to the training to election law seminar, this is what we've been told to do. And actually, I even talked to the people or audit team from Secretary of State were just here. And I questioned that and
they said yes.
They conferred with me, yes. So, I mean, I have a direct number to one of the attorneys to Secretary of State. I will gladly give her a call and have her explain it to me.
Please.
One other thing is, it was my understanding that that it passed September 1st. Isn't that the date?
Right, but the election was ordered before September 1st.
Yes.
So that's why it wasn't going to take.
Our thing was that we wanted to use it as a good test run before it's even started, and they told me we could do that. That we could use it as kind of a test run because come the primary time when it gets really, really busy, this is going to be a slow election. It's a smaller election, but we want to kind of use it as a training tool too for our election workers. So come primary, everybody's on that same page.
Well, again, I'd appreciate it if we could run something before it happens, and that way we're not
That's an excellent idea.
having a
We'll do that.
motion.
The LNA stands for logic and accuracy.
Is that it? All right, and if you could prepare those and get it to us on the next meeting, that way we can look at it. And get it to us a week before, if you don't mind. That way Commissioner Garcia can look at it. Thank you, ma'am. Item 31, discussion possible improving the lease between Valverde County and St. Jude's Walker. Commissioner Vasquez, motion. Second. Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 32.
Motion to approve the bids on the Spectrum Board contract.
Second. Motion Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries. Discussion possible action to approve the purchase of the 2022 Case Pneumatic.
Motion
to approve that.
Second.
Commissioner Flores, motion. Commissioner Wardlaw, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 34, discussion possible action to approve the purchase of the 2019 International Water Truck Trailers. Motion to approve. Commissioner Flores, motion, Commissioner Wardlaw second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Discussion possible request to change order to interior partition walls, reserved on construction plans as a future phase for the target range. This is where the rest of that money's gonna be spent,
Yes,
and we have the funds.
yes.
What's the, construction plan on this? Is it going to be, is this saying it's gonna be?
No.
Contracted or is it gonna?
No, when the, what do we got?
No, I didn't. The question was, did Commissioner Garcia start to make a motion?
Yeah, he did. You did, right? You made a
I think
motion?
he did.
Who made, well, let's start all over. I read it. Does somebody want to make a motion?
I have a question about it.
If somebody will give me a motion, a second.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Motion Commissioner Garcia, second Commissioner Flores. When the plans were first drawn, they were drawn completely, inside partitions, restrooms and everything. And it was put out because we didn't know what the inside was gonna cost and we figured it was gonna come out too much money. The partitions inside we didn't get a bid on that. But now that we received more money, from a grant, now we're going back out to get a bid from the contractor to finish the inside. And we're allowed to do that depending on what the bid comes back at, but we need to get a price. That way we don't have to do it.
I'm just checking this is being paid for by a grant.
No, this will probably end up being paid for at the end of the day out of the $1.5 million, that we set aside when we borrowed. We borrowed, $6 million for sending us, 1.5 for target range and $2 million for a gun range.
Yes. I'm just checking because if we're looking at the building maintenance, putting it in?
No, not right now.
Okay.
This right here, with this action item right now, we would go back to the contractor, since we already have it all drawn out, to get a price from him. And depending on the price, we're allowed to give it to him or not to give it to us, depending on the price. But we need to get a price for it.
Okay.
That way, we don't have to deal with it. Building maintenance doesn't have to do the electrical or nothing else.
I'm just checking on where the money's coming from and what people.
Money will be coming from, the 2023 tax note, and the people that would be doing it would, it depends until we get a price back from the contractor, which is JP Sanchez Construction.
Very good.
Okay. Motion Commissioner Garcia, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 36, discussion possible.
Motion to approve percentages.
I'll second that, Judge.
Okay. And motion Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries. Item 37, discussion possible action on.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Second.
Motion Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. You talk too much. Item 38, discussion possible action on approving pay period, calendar, and holiday schedule. Second. Motion Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. None of the days, interfere with nothing else. We're good. Check them. Juanita?
She's out.
She's out? Okay. So you're it?
Yeah.
Motion Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 39, discussion possible action.
Presented.
Second. Motion Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. They all comply. We're all good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 40, approving monthly reports from elected officials.
Motion to approve, Judge.
All those in favor, I'm sorry, I need a second. Motion Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 41, approving bills to approve.
Percentage.
Motion Commissioner Flores,
I'll second that,
second
Judge.
Commissioner Vasquez. Any changes? We good?
We're good.
All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 42, discussion and possible action to approve the auditor's report. And there's a bunch of it.
Motion.
Any concerns on any of them?
No, every issue has been taken care of.
Have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 43, discussion possible on following certification of revenue, Texas Association of Counties, 1,000 for fire department, 1,250.
Motion to approve, Judge, is presented.
All right.
The fire department, that we already got a quote on that. That's just going back into operating. The Hava grant, we've already taken care of.
Okay.
So you're good.
I'll second that. A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 44, discussion possible action on the following budget adjustments. I had none, right?
We had, well, item 10, but it's already taken care of.
Yeah. All right, then. Item 45, discussion possible action on hotel room average.
And we actually don't need this item anymore. Someone from the host hotel canceled, so we pick up that room.
Okay. No action.
No action.
No action. Do we need to, because, do we need to revisit this? Or
Okay.
Are you concerned? I mean,
Sure.
I can bring it back, but my concern is the rate.
At the 150?
Because I know that, yeah.
Okay.
Because I know that we had a motion in case legislative session, all this, it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
But, what would be, can we bring it back? Maybe have a discussion later on, bring it back? and
Absolutely,
maybe
just take
raise
it up to 175 or
something like that, yeah, because,
Absolutely.
you put it on?
You want me? I will.
Thank you.
You or me?
You don't mind.
Will do.
I wish something goes wrong, it's your fault.
Okay.
We good?
We're good.
All right, thanks, Matthew. Item 46, closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code A 551.071 for instance 2, attorney-client privilege, B 551.071 for instance 1 for instance 8, contemplated litigation, C 551.072 regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or real property, possible action or concession thereafter, D 551.072 regarding negotiated contract, lease regarding real property, possible action or concession thereafter, E 551.076 regarding security devices, security, this, security personnel, y'all will get this room, show an executive session. There's tape.
No, it's not.
Okay, wait for the light turned on. Commissioners Court come back into session. It's 10:55. We came out of executive session. No action was taken. Commissioners' comments, item 47. None. Item 48, county judges' comments, none. Item 49, entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion. Second. Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? We are adjourned. Thank y'all. Have a great day.